Hi guys, welcome back to the Just Ask Alumni podcast. It's me, Christina. Next to me I have Laurentin from JA Alumni France. And basically today we're just going to be talking a bit about the French network. Before we start, I'd like to thank our sponsors, who are Malta Food Agency and the EUPA Solidarity Corps. So, hi Laurentin, how are you?
I'm fine.
Firstly, how are you? We had a long weekend of ALA.
Yeah, we're just off the academy and it was a superb weekend.
That's great. So, how long have you been in the alumni network, and how long have you been involved in JA?
So for me, it's been 3 years. I've been active in the alumni network. I joined as a regional leader for 2 years, and then I became national coordinator this September.
Great. So it's still fresh.
Yeah, it's still fresh.
And how are you finding adjusting from your old role to your new role?
Well, it's kind of the same, because as a regional leader you have to manage your regional network, and now I'm doing it on the national scale. But there are some differences, like talking with different institutions, having to manage also JA France, and talking with other regional leaders.
What, from these kinds of changes, what made you decide that you wanted to change role from the one you had to the national coordinator role?
I think it's mainly because there was a need for a new NC. So there was like a new opportunity, and I didn't see anyone else
being interested.
Yeah, being interested in the NC position, and I didn't want the network to be like without an NC, or with an NC that couldn't do much.
I'm assuming that on a French alumni level, the national coordinator is quite important.
Yeah, well, in France we actually say it's the president, so we don't really use the term national coordinator. It's really president, vice president, and so the president is the one who is the representative of the alumni network.
And how would you say that the alumni culture in France feels different in compared to other countries? Because obviously all of the different countries probably have their own way of working and their own framework and these kinds of things.
I guess like there's a great volunteering dynamic in France, broadly speaking. All of our sports clubs are managed by volunteers, and so there's a huge association part where like non-profit organizations are really present. So we have a great dynamic. I think most students from the JA program see the interest that they can gain from going into the alumni network. And I mean, for me, we have 700 members registered.
Wow.
Around France. We are 13 regions with regional leaders. So I mean, the dynamic is there. We just have to coordinate everything. That's the main issue.
And I'm assuming the Maltese team is like 17 people in total. So I'm assuming that being a national coordinator that has to coordinate around 700 people, it's quite a challenge.
Yes. Well, it's 700, but passive members. On the active, like regional boards and national board, I think we're maybe 30 people, 40 people.
Ah, okay. Easier to handle.
Easier to handle, and it's just giving out opportunities to 700 members and finding ways to actually integrate them into the alumni network and making great events.
Exactly. And so obviously you would have like the one-off huge events and these kinds of things, but on a day-to-day level, what would you say that the role of being a national coordinator entails?
So for me, it's really micromanaging and macromanaging the network in the sense that I have my national board, so my team, and I coordinate my team in doing the tasks for the national network. And then you also have to do some micromanagement, so talk with partners, talk with the J office, see if the strategy for the whole network is actually on track, and if you're actually committing to your strategy. So there's a bit every day, a bit of micromanaging, sending messages to make sure projects are on track, and then macromanaging, making sure that the strategy is still respected.
And probably making sure that you don't go crazy with all of the tasks you have.
Yeah, really, it's task management.
And time management, I'm going to assume as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have, from what I can tell from our national coordinator, who's Isaac, you have a lot to do, and we're just 17 people. So I'm assuming that dealing with the different people, obviously, like for example, the way that Malta would speak to partners, like the connections in Malta, everyone knows everyone. So to speak to a partner, it wouldn't be, I'm assuming, as difficult, for example, in France, maybe, because I don't know exactly how the culture is there.
So I would say we have a great, like it's not too hard to talk to partners as youth, as young people. We don't know them, that's for sure. Like it's not in Malta where it's a small community and everybody knows each other. But they're all wholesome, they're all really
excited to help.
Yeah, excited to help. They hear me out when I come, and I'm only 20 years old, so it's great to see that I'm taken seriously by important people, by people who are in the government or huge partners that we have.
They don't just tear you down by the first pitch you make.
Yeah.
So you said like you enjoy speaking to these partners and that they hear you. What would you say are some main priorities and the goals that the French alumni have this year?
This year it's really a structuring year. So to give a bit of context, we have a 5-year strategy plan,
okay.
And that we discussed with our J office. And the goal is, like the objective that we set is to have a certain number of participants each year to our events. So that's a bit different than before, because before we had an objective of recruitment. So having new members
alumni.
Yeah, registered. But we wanted to change that because, like I said, we already 700 members, but only a few of them are actually active and responding to messages and coming to events, and we think it's really it's a shame because we have all of these passive alumni that we aren't actually impacting. So our objective, our focus is more on the event side, and the goal is by 2030 to have 200 participants each year
actively doing something in the network.
Yeah, in our events, 200 participants total in events organized by J Alumni France.
And when you say guests in the events, what kind of events are you talking about? And also, like, what kind of guests, in the sense, do you want them to be more, for example, partners? Do you want them to be more alumni, or just guests, for example, of students who are currently in a program?
So for us, we want to measure impact on alumni. So participants are alumni participating in events. So for example, if an alumni team organizes an event, they're not counted as participants because they aren't
they've been organizing.
Yes. And for the types of events, we have many ideas. Historically, we did some alumni weekends in Paris, for example, where we get 50 alumni from all over France and do a huge weekend with a partner. So I have in mind a bank which is called Le Crédit Agricole, where we do activities and we have some fun, and it's like a European conference, but at the national scale for us. So it's a great way to onboard new alumni, to show them what is the alumni spirit in France, and to actually have a great event with a partner.
And if you don't, I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the bank. When you say they partner and you do event and you do activities related to the bank, what exactly would that entail? Because it's not really.
So our activity with them was they had a problem that they wanted some young people to solve. So we actually did a really short company program where we were divided into small groups, and we had to develop a solution and pitch it to a jury. like two judges.
Oh, okay, so the weekend was kind of like a mini
company
program.
Well, it was really in like 3 or 4 hours we did that, and that was one part of the weekend.
Okay.
And then the rest, it was a bit more alumni focused, where we could do, like we did an escape game in a theater in Paris, which was really great.
Oh, wow.
And we visited a bit of Paris. So
I think this also counts as a team building kind of activity as well.
It's for the community. It's really important to have these kinds of activities where we actually build the connections inside the community.
And you become, I mean, it's always easier to work with someone that you are happy to spend time with outside of a work environment as well. So these things also help in that way. What would you say that are the key challenges in building engagement across different regions of France? I'm assuming in Malta obviously we don't have different regions, we have different localities, but you can say, like, for example, the south is different to the north, and the way you would market certain things, for example, you wouldn't do it in the same way, although that it's a small country. I can't imagine something on a national scale of France.
In France, I'd say it's the sense of belonging that is hard to build, because at the regional scale, I guess the sense of belonging is strong because it's a smaller community, and so you feel more strongly with them. But translating that into a sense of belonging to the national community is a bit more difficult. And for me, ways that I can leverage so this sense of belonging and actually ameliorate it is by showing the network to be more fun, to be a bit more young, and to not be too professional, too formal. Of course, the professional aspect is really important because I guess all of us are interested in entrepreneurship and business. But
you also give it a hint of youthful life into it.
It's the network part, I think, that we miss the most, and it's the connection with each other. And that's one thing at the European level, that we have a really good connection, network dynamic that in France, I guess, we miss because we don't have that much physical events.
And since you said you don't have much physical events, what exactly, so when you say events, what kind of events would be online, for example? I'm assuming you mean online, not physical.
Yeah, so we have different online events, whether it is for JA students, so that they can discover the alumni network, but we also have some programs for our alumni, like the Cross Country Connect program we did with Germany last year. So we had these guests coming and making a little session, a little master class on a subject, and it was open to anybody. So that's one way we can connect with each other during a voice call. And we try and actually organize some funnier digital evenings, but like with some games.
More like to get to know each other and to get comfortable with each other.
Yes.
That's very interesting, to be fair. In Malta, most of the events, since it's a small country, they're more face-to-face. Like, for example, the alumni, the Maltese alumni, we tend to volunteer a lot, for example, during company program. And that way we kind of meet the students before we start recruiting them to the alumni. And we also offer a sense of support to them. So sometimes when you're 16, it's like a bit intimidating going to someone from the office, for example, and they're a full-blown adult and you might feel a bit embarrassed. So that's kind of where the alumni step in, and we offer ourselves to be the kind of mediator between the students and the office. So it's kind of, that's where we start hopefully building connections with future alumni. Then towards the end of the program, we start fighting with them, as in fighting for them to start joining the alumni slowly, because although obviously we'd love to have as many recruits as possible, but in Malta it's kind of everyone has a lot of extracurriculars, and although it's a small country, you don't always get as many recruits as you want. But this year was pretty successful, actually. Moving on, what would be your thoughts on collaborations with JA Europe?
So J Alumni Europe? Or?
Yes, J Alumni Europe, sorry.
So collaboration with them? So from France's perspective,
Exactly.
I think collaboration with them is more to get best practices from other countries. I think they should make the link between other European countries and France. For example, the academy is a great way to actually have this link and see what's being done in other countries and taking some inspiration. And we actually have a hackathon being planned with J Alumni Europe in France with a European partner. And they are a real support in organizing this event.
And this event, would it be one of your online events or would it be a physical event?
Physical event for that part.
And what I'm going to be like, what does the hackathon entail mainly?
So it's still in development, but the main gist of it is that students and alumni come together in one place and work on a certain business topic, business case study from the partner. So the partner is Friends of Bata, and they allow, like, each group will think about the case study, analyze it, and bring about solutions depending on the problematic that will be chosen. And it's all in English, so that will be great because it kind of has an international side aspect that is quite new for the French network.
I feel like it might be a bit unusual for French events to be done in English.
Yeah.
In Malta, since our national languages are both English and Maltese, we kind of, during the meeting, if you hear us, probably you'll understand bits and pieces because we keep switching from Maltese to English, Maltese to English. But I feel like, I mean, in France, obviously, it's a much larger country, so the language isn't as easily, not forgotten, but it's not as washed out.
Yeah, and it's not really a stereotype to say that French people are bad at English, and so most people don't really like to speak English, and so they prefer to speak French.
Is there a reason, out of curiosity, is there a reason that they don't enjoy speaking English?
Maybe pride. Pride in the language, probably. I'd say it's different for everyone. I really enjoy the English language, but I'm maybe unique in the sense that I like English a lot.
Maybe now, once you ace English, you can start learning Maltese.
Yeah,
it will be a very long journey if you start learning Maltese.
But I find it to be a beautiful language.
It does have pieces of French in it, to be honest. It's a bit it's a smoothie of other, it's like Arabic.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I don't blame people who find it really hard to learn Maltese, because sometimes, as a person who's been speaking Maltese for around 18 years, sometimes I find myself questioning if I actually do know it or if I make it up along the way. So earlier we were speaking about the event that you did with the French bank.
Yeah.
And you said that you guys had like a mini company program kind of activity.
Yeah.
Did your JA journey start from company program, or was it a different kind of program?
For me, it was company program. Most alumni are coming from company program because in France we don't have that many programs different from the company programs. What we have is actually different time lengths for the program. For some it's 1 day, for some it's 6 months, and for the longest one it's 1 year. It's changing because right now we have another program that's coming that is not the company program, but that is just discussion with a business leader with students from high school or from middle school. So that's not the company program, and we're actually thinking about how we can get them into the J Alumni program.
So the company program, it's not like, for example, the Maltese company program, it starts in October and it finishes in May. So the French one isn't, you can choose the different lengths of it?
Yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
So for example, the shortest one is 1 day. It's generally it's almost always with a partner, so with a professional. We bring students there I don't want to say bad numbers, but a certain amount of classes go there, so maybe between 30 and 50 students go there. We bring mentors, we divide each class into group, and then they think about a business solution for a problem that the partner has.
Would have. Okay.
And it just lasts one day. It's just brainstorming, making a small poster, and then pitching in front of the partner.
And which one did you partake in? Did you take the 6 months one?
I took the 1 year, the longest
okay.
one, the L format.
And how was your experience with that?
It was incredible, life-changing for me.
Okay, very positive.
Yeah.
Very positive experience. What could you tell us about? What made it so amazing and positive?
So it was in the start of high school, right in the moment of COVID, and I entered the company program as a research and development agent. So we developed an electronic harp to kill Asian hornets, because it's a huge problem in France. Asian hornets kill our bees, and if we don't have bees, we cannot really have good agriculture.
The Asian hornets are like the red ones, if I'm not mistaken.
The orange ones. Yeah.
Yes, we have quite a bit of them in Malta as well.
They're everywhere now.
They're very problematic.
And so we developed this electronic harp that tases Asian hornets, and so I was in charge of the electronic side. How do we make a 5-volt battery actually capable of tasing Asian hornets? So it's a bit of technical.
I was going to say, if you are around, when you do company program, would you be around like 16, 17 as you would be in Malta?
For me, I was 15,
but
wow. The youngest ones can be like 13, because it can go in middle school.
Oh, here we kept it at like 16. Usually the average, so usually here it would be, for example, the first year after you finish secondary school. So usually it's like 16, 17-year-olds. So you'd be a bit older than 15. You have a bit more, usually like your role would coincide with what you're studying at school. So I'm assuming you got quite a lot of help to actually build the technical side of it. Yeah,
well, it's actually a huge skill, like a huge realization for me is that I don't have the skill to do it. So my job is not to do it on my own, is to actually find the right people to do it.
Exactly.
And I cannot stress this enough for anyone who is listening. It's the role of the entrepreneur to find the right people. It is not his role to do everything by himself.
Exactly.
And so if you know how to find the right people for the right job, then your company will be successful.
And the whole point of the company program was also to get a taster of what it's like to work in a team and be assigned different roles and start learning the way kind of a company works as well. So the whole point is that you don't do everything alone.
We were actually a bit more than 20 in my company.
Oh, wow.
How many were you?
Here, they don't recommend more than 5 people because then it starts getting very chaotic.
Wow. Because in France, it's like the program is, it can be forced upon whole classes or offered as an option. So generally, classes in France are like 20 to 30 students in the public school system. And so companies can have up to 30 people.
Wow.
And it's.
But like, do you pick who's in your team, or do you just find yourself in a team, or are they assigned?
So what we do is we actually apply for certain roles into the company. And we have the mentors and the teachers who are doing interviews for us and actually giving out roles for each student in the company. So for example, me, I applied for research and development, but others applied for CEO or for marketing or for finances.
That's very interesting.
And we actually have to prepare our resume and our cover letter to actually apply.
It's way more serious in France than it is in Malta. In Malta, we just apply for the program, you find your team, and then like after you decide who your team is, you start
Dividing the roles.
Exactly, like for example, we'll just be CEO, it's okay, and you don't have to apply or provide a resume. That's actually quite interesting. So now we're gonna take a short break. We'll come back after the break and play a short game.
Nice.
Okay, so we're back from our break, and now basically we're going to be playing a game. This is a finish the sentence game. So basically I'm going to give you a sentence,
Yeah.
and you finish it with the first thing that pops up in your brain.
Okay.
So it's like if I tell you, what do you want to be doing right now? You're gonna say, doing the podcast with Christina.
Okay.
Perfect. So, number one, we're gonna start. The first thing I do at any JA event is,
Networking.
if JA had a theme song, it would be,
Eye of the Tiger.
my teammates would describe me as,
Serious.
the weirdest JA memory I have is,
Having an accident in a bus.
an accident in the bus.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
In Malta, coming
Oh.
from the airport, I was in a bus and some like biker
That's very common.
threw himself into the bus, but it was not.
That's very common for Tallinn. It's okay. Probably he just stood back up and kept on going after saying a couple of swear words. I knew I was in the right place when.
I felt fulfilled.
That's good. My go-to snack during events is
Candies.
candies. If I could teleport anywhere right now, I'd go to.
To my home.
That's fair. The most chaotic JA moment ever was when.
Last night at the restaurant.
What was so chaotic
But
about?
the Maltese table was chaotic.
Yeah, so a bit of background info. Yesterday we went for dinner, and the Maltese alumni were all on one table, and of course we were the loudest table, banging, laughing, clapping. So of course that's.
But it was really cool. It
Thank
was
you.
nice.
we were
atmosphere.
the ambience, exactly. You know what it means to go to a Maltese dinner now. So my JA superpower is.
Planning, I guess. Planning.
If I could recruit anyone, real or fictional, to my team, it would be.
Anthea.
Antea.
Anthea from Maltese team.
Crazy. Okay, so
For
we
the
have
events.
we have a recruitment plan for Antea. The most random skill I learned through JA is.
Random skill. It would be identifying quickly which way to say hello, because there's so many different countries' culture and so many different ways to say hello that you actually need to
Plan it out.
to identify how the person wants to say hello, because in France we make the la bise or we just shake hands, but in Europe there's a big
Depends on what
hugging,
country you go to.
hugging, checking. You have to
I have-
identify quickly.
I haven't been to enough events to learn that yet, so I'm gonna keep it in my mind. This one's interesting. If I had a billboard for JA France, it would say.
A billboard.
Yes.
Oh. Something like a lot, like we have a lot of potential in our network. Like all the members are actually really intelligent and can bring something to the table. It's like putting the alumni forward. Yeah.
The best advice I ever ignored was.
The best advice I ever ignored.
Exactly. So someone told you something and you just said no.
It was it was the advice I gave. It was, you shouldn't do everything by yourself. You should find the people that can do it for you.
And you ignored it essentially, so that's why you
So-
give out the advice.
Yeah, I ignored it at first, and now I regretted it.
Makes sense. My leadership style in one emoji is.
The
Thumbs up.
thumbs up.
Like a dad, like tell him that the
Yeah.
house is burning, and he's like, okay. If I weren't in JA, I'd probably be.
if I weren't in JA, well, I would be an engineer. Well, I will be, but
In a couple more years.
in a couple more years, yeah, engineer in embedded systems.
In engineering embedded systems.
Yes.
That's cool. I would probably be at home currently if I weren't at JA. Okay, so that wraps up our game. Now, Locanton has some food for me to try from JA. So earlier on, he tried a Maltese pastis.
Yes.
Did you try ricotta?
I tried every flavor.
Every single one. Okay, that's perfect. And what was your verdict? Which one was the best?
Ricotta, the cheese one.
Okay, yes, that's a
Very
classic. So you could never go wrong with ricotta. No one will hate you for it. Now, this is the. Wait, let's. Yours to explain.
So this is French classic charcuterie. So it's like a small bit of meat that we like to eat before our meals. It's called saucisson. It's kind of like a thick, dry cured sausage that we eat at every occasion. So just before dinner or right after.
Every dinner?
Not every, but a lot of the time, yes.
Like most.
Most of the time. It depends on the zone in France, but we actually have this time which is called apéro.
Yes, I'm familiar.
Which is really famous, and we eat all sorts of little finger
food. It's kind of like a snack, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
snack time kind
a
of.
snack time, yeah. So you can try it. So it's classical in France. Everybody knows it. Everybody has tried it, and for me, it's really good. I really like it.
10 on 10.
Yeah, this is like a great one. Also, it's not one from the supermarket.
I appreciate it.
Do you like it?
I love it. I love my aunt is from France, so I love these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And she makes me like a bored. So, what is it like? What is it?
It's mainly pork, but you can find saucissons that are done with other type of meat, and sometimes there's pepper and.
This was an amazing exchange of food. So you like the pastizzi and I loved the.
Nice.
And the.
Saucisson.
Saucisson.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad. So let's continue with some more questions. What could we? So before we spoke that you took part in the company program, that now you're the coordinator, etc. What in both alumni and your experience in company program, what would you say was the most memorable moment of JA? Like something maybe that's touched you, or even if it's a bad experience that maybe you've learned from.
So for me, I can say one positive memory and one negative. The positive memory was since we did our JA program, our company in COVID time, we didn't have any physical events to attend, so we did all the competitions digitally. So we had this to like plan with cameras, do the whole production, and we really liked it. Like we did a bit like you, multiple cameras during our pitch in live, and we changed cameras during the pitch.
Very dedicated.
Yeah, but we loved it, and actually I think the best moments were when we heard our names being awarded the national award, the national reward, and we were like just together and we just cried out in joy, and we actually filmed it, so we have all these moments memorized.
Also have a reaction video.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
So it's really cool sometimes to go back to it and see that we're like 20 in the same room.
Ah yes, I forgot that it's 20. I keep thinking of Maltese company program.
No, we're 20, all in the shot, and we're just waiting and stressing because we want to hear our names. And
you have multiple shots of the of the reaction as well.
No, unfortunately we just have one phone shot, but I think it's the best because we won multiple times, and so each time it's
bigger reaction every single time.
Yes, actually yes.
And what would be the bad experience?
So the bad experience,
not so great experience.
Well, yeah, it's
negative.
like difficult experience, but looking back on it, it was necessary. I think is when I took the company idea and I turned it into my own organization after the JA program. I kind of went fully into it and didn't really make time for other things. And so when it didn't succeed, because I was trying to do everything by myself, I was really sad, because I was like, oh, it's all my fault because I didn't manage it well. So it was really difficult, because I was like almost on a burnout from the J program, or like the part that is business.
You needed some time to
and
first rest and then...
Yeah, I stopped everything. I joined the J Alumni, and yeah, now I really want to go back to business and to developing projects.
So the idea that you had for a company program, what was its name?
So it was Melon Harp.
Melon Harp. So the idea of the Melon Harp, you kept on going after the company program?
Yeah, I created my own organization, legal entity, which was non-profit, which was called Melapi, because our slogan was "Don't worry, be happy," in a certain spelling, like B.
Yes, I can imagine.
And so I really believed in the idea, and there was a huge need from the honey makers. I don't know how to say it in English. Yeah, the beekeepers, sorry. So there was a real need in France, and they wanted to have a product, and so I decided we cannot let it go to waste. So I tried to...
So the opportunity and you took it.
Yes.
And you're still currently working on this project?
No, I worked on it for 2 years, for my last high school years, and I didn't manage to make it work. And when I went into university and working, I actually decided to stop it, because I got the opportunity to join J Alumni Regional for me.
And what would you say so from your 2 years after company program, while you were still working on your project, is there something that you learned from it? Kind of, because for example here, many people, they stop after the program ends. So what did you learn during those 2 years?
So it was the best experience for me, like the best learning experience. That was when I grew the most, because like I said, in the mini company, in Melon Harp, I was research and development agent. So I didn't have much responsibilities, and I really had a technical aspect. So when I took it as my own idea, I was actually president, and so I went into kind of a position as a CEO. And so I discovered the whole other side of a business, which is talking to partners, managing the finances, managing the team, which I wasn't good at. And so the main thing is like the Melapi actually showed me what I was lacking. I was lacking management skills. I was lacking confidence in my team, and I was lacking, as always, because I was young, technical skills. Like I couldn't do the electronics myself. I couldn't do the CAD modeling myself, and so I needed to find people. And this really showed me my failures, like my lacks.
And probably those skills you've developed and improved them throughout those 2 years as well.
Yeah, well, I developed quite a bit, and I think I really developed it in the J Alumni community.
What made you do the transition between, like when you were still doing your project, what made you say, okay, let me stop this and join the Alumni? During those 2 years, were you actively in the alumni network already, or was that your first application, kind of?
No, I wasn't actively in the sense that I was mentoring the company program just after mine. So that was maybe a kind of alumni activity, and I helped volunteering during the J events, but I only joined, I'd say, actively when finishing my high school, because there was the opportunity of being a regional leader, and I wanted to develop my management skills with the J Alumni network.
Okay, and so you mentioned that you've developed different skills through company program and also through your project. If you had to describe Laurentin going into the company program and Laurentin now, how would you describe it? Because obviously you probably changed almost completely.
Yeah.
How would you describe the two different people?
So for me, when I came into the company program, so I just entered high school, I was really shy. Didn't want to talk to people. Had my group of friends, obviously, but I didn't think much of myself. I was good academically, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a bit lost. And so going into the program, I was shy, and that's why I only applied for the research and development agent job, because I didn't have much ambition and didn't have much confidence in me to actually ask for the CEO role, which of course you have more responsibility than just being a part of the research and development team. And when I finished like all my journey, I would say it's confidence mainly, because of course I failed throughout my projects and I succeeded at times, but now I have experience, now I have a bit of background that can actually help me make better decisions because I have experience. And so confidence boost is the main plus that it gave me, plus a direction in life, because now I know what I want to do.
If you had to go back and reapply for the company program, like imagine it's you at the age of 15 again, would you still, knowing what you know now and what you're capable of doing now, would you have still applied for the research and development role, or do you think you would have applied for the CEO, for example, or a different kind of thing?
I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm the type of person who thinks that everything that has happened to me is the best thing that has happened to me, whether it is good or bad. And so
very positive.
Yeah, so
I admire that.
I don't regret anything that has happened to me. I try to be grateful for everything. And so having this path where it was really progressive and I had no confidence, small job, then I said, okay, I can do more of this and I will take it as my own project and be CEO, then that's a boost of confidence. And seeing that I don't have the skills required to be a good CEO, then I was like, okay, time to step down and to actually find out how I can develop those skills that I'm lacking.
When you started, when you started involving yourself more and being more active in the French alumni network, what would you say was when you started working with other countries, what would you say was the biggest difference between, for example, say the French alumni and the Maltese alumni or the Italian alumni? Maybe even basing it off of past interactions you've had.
So the biggest difference between countries in Europe, because I mainly had interactions with European countries. I guess it's kind of ways of functioning. It's like since the country's situation is so different. For example, Malta is quite small in size, and France is quite big. Then we have different structures because it's just logical to have certain structures depending on your size. But those different structures actually demand a certain way of functioning in the national board that is way different. For example, you said to me that you were a team of 17 at the national board.
No, like the entire alumni network is around 17 people.
Okay.
So that's the whole entirety network of active participants.
Yeah, okay. That. But in the national board, how many are you?
I think we're about 7.
7?
7.
Okay. In France, it's kind of the same. We're not more than 10 in the national board, but we have all those regional leaders that are helping out manage the whole network. So they're kind of like part of the whole team. So maybe we have a team of 40 to 50 people actually in all of France, and it's just that it's multiple levels. So the structure of the network actually gives a different way of functioning, and so that creates a whole lot of other problems like communication problems or sense of belonging, like I said earlier, that maybe in Malta you don't have because you're just so close and a closer community. But you have other problems, which is developing and actually getting the machine going.
We also have problems of, for example, Maltese, where we love talking. So before we actually start a meeting, we spend like half an hour talking, and it's like, okay, now I have to actually work. And even when we actually decide to work, it's like some people are having a couple of conversations in the sidelines, and then it's like, hello, please,
Stay
need
focused.
to finish. If we could, we'd end up having like an entire day-long meeting. Probably this wouldn't even be enough. But what would you say would be your favorite aspect of like being part of an international network and like a community? Because having, for example, an event like we just had this past weekend, you kind of speak to the different kind of countries and you feel more connected rather than saying like, for example, Alumni Malta, the Maltese alumni. You kind of see us.
The benefit I see from the international part is really that you see different ways of functioning and you see best practices that you didn't have time to implement or to even think about. We all have our creative minds and each country has a different kind of craziness inside their hand. And for example, in the academy, we just saw Austria developing a management platform for national boards. And that's a really great thing to inspire for the French network. So we wouldn't have this idea if
we weren't inspired by...
Yeah, if we didn't have this connection to the European countries and had some contact with them.
At the end of the day, that's what these kinds of events are for. It's so that I hear what you're doing, you hear what I'm doing, and in some way we inspire each other, or if not inspire, we kind of set something off in someone's head and something new is created.
Yeah, it's like brainstorming.
Exactly. A weekend of brainstorming. How would you say, so JA is worldwide, but let's talk about Europe. How would you say that it connects people?
How does JA
connect different people? And if you had to give one word of advice to someone that's thinking of joining the network, what would you say?
I would say be active. Try and seize those opportunities, because there are a lot of opportunities, whether it is learning opportunities like the Nestle Skillathon we had a few weeks back, or a European conference. For me, those opportunities are the main ones, because you get changed by the people you meet, and so every opportunity you have to meet new people, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. So actually seize those opportunities where you can go to Albania for the next conference, or go to a Christmas weekend in Germany or Poland. Mm-hmm. Even though you don't know anyone there, even though you may not be really good at English, everybody is wholesome, everybody is welcoming, and everybody wants to know your story because you have something to bring to the table and other people have something to bring to you.
So basically, for any alumni out there, just take the leap even though it might be scary. Thank you so much, Laurentin. It was so lovely to speak to you and meet you officially.
Thanks for the invitation.
No problem.
It was really cool.
That wraps up our episode. I just want to say once again thank you to our sponsors, Malta Food Agency and the EUPA Solidarity Corps.